What's good, y'all? Shagam Kyle. Welcome back to my channel. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year, so if you could just help me out by liking, commenting, and subscribing. All that stuff helps out the channel a lot, so just help me reach where I go and do all those things. And today we're going to be talking about my favorite team, the Chicago Bulls, and just how I think it's time for them to tear everything down, rebuild it up, and just move in a different direction, because the way the NBA is set up right now and the way the Eastern Conference in particular is set up right now, the Bulls are not in a position to really compete with anybody that's at the top. And if you're not competing with people at the top, you're just kind of in that middling area. You don't have a lot of young guys who can, come up. I just don't think that we're in a position to keep trying to, compete and try to contend or anything. So I think that it's probably time for the Bulls to rebuild. And this all started with the Nikola Vucevic trade. And a couple years back, I was really excited about that trade because it was the first time that the Bulls have had, multiple all-star guys in a long time. And I'm like, Vucevic is a great guy. He's, great in the post, great, shooting at every level. He can shoot the three, shoot the mid-range, great passer for a big man, can space the floor. Like, just what a perfect big man to place next to Zach LaVine, who loves to get into the paint, who loves to drive, can run some pick and rolls with him. Maybe Vucevic can do some handoffs to get him downhill. All kinds of stuff I was thinking about when we traded for Vucevic. And when we traded for Vucevic, we gave up, Wendell. Obviously, we gave up the 2 first-round picks. But I'm thinking this is a great stepping stone move to move into something different, to move into, legitimizing the Bulls franchise once again. And that season when we traded for him at the trade deadline. We wound up missing the playoffs. Zach LaVine got hurt, got COVID at the end of that season. So, that season was, lost. But I was like, this is a great stepping stone. We can move forward. We can add some guys. And in that offseason, they added a lot of great guys. They had Lonzo Ball, who was one of the best, point of attack defenders in the league. He had become a really great three-point shooter. He'd always been a great, passer throughout his time in the league. So we were just adding a really, really perfect guy in the backcourt next to Zach LaVine. And I couldn't have thought of a better guy to have next to Zach LaVine than a guy who can pass, who can defend. Just what a great fit that was. And then also in that offseason, we did a sign and trade for DeMar DeRozan. And everybody knows DeMar DeRozan, one of the best scorers in the NBA, one of the best mid-range shooters to ever live, I would say, at this point. And just a really great guy at closing out games, a really great guy just for some instant offense, some great shot making. He doesn't get to the rim as much as he once did, but he's still, solid getting there. He, can pass a little bit. So we were just adding a lot of offense, just adding a lot of guys who can just create a huge impact on offense. And things look really, really great for a long time. I don't want to say for a long time. Things look really, really great in like the first half of that, initial season. I think it was the 22 season or 20. I forget which one it was, but the 22 season, like, things look really, really great. And, we were rolling. We were the #1 seed in the East. Lonzo's playing amazing. Oh, we also got Caruso in the offseason. Caruso is playing amazing. We're getting out in transition, flashy dunks. Everybody can shoot. The offense is running really well. Vucevic, he kind of had a down year, but that was to be expected with, all the new offensive pieces we added. But even Vucevic is having a solid season, and things just look really, really great. But then Lonzo Ball got injured. When Lonzo Ball got hurt, we didn't know that it would be the last time he played for, many years to come. He still isn't playing today, and he's not going to play this season, and it's not guaranteed that he's going to play the next season. But once we lost Lonzo Ball, things really started to go on the downswing. And that season, we lost Lonzo Ball and Alex Caruso at the same time. Patrick Williams also missed a lot of time that year. So things just did not look great for us injury-wise. All the injuries really fried our team, and we were still able to get into the playoffs, but we were the 8th seed. Obviously, when you're the 8th seed, you're not expected to win your matchup. And then we got matched up with Milwaukee, and obviously Milwaukee destroyed us because it was just, DeMar out there really doing things. And the thing about that season was that, you could say, oh, when Lonzo comes back, when Caruso comes back, things are going to be better. You still got Patrick Williams who's going to develop into something. You still have a lot of different avenues for optimism that you can use to be like, okay, it's not time for Chicago to go in a new direction yet because there's still time. And then we see last season. Last season, really weird season because for some reason the offense wasn't that great, but we had like a top 10 defense. Like, the defense is really great. Defensive scheme that we run is a really aggressive help, so you really have to be sharp with the rotations. And this core has been together for so long. I feel like they know how to rotate together. They know how to, like, Vucevic, great edge big man. He knows how to come up to the level of the screen, and they do a really great job in just trailing after the pick and set. They do a really great job of, bringing the next man up in the rotation. Like, they just do a really great job defensively. But offensively, we don't have that great playmaking guy who can manipulate a guy out of the corner, free guys up for, corner shots, free guys up, in the pick and roll. And Vucevic not being close to what he was in Orlando. And I guess that was to be expected with all these offensive guys, but he was like considerably worse than he was in Orlando. That's the part that really hurts, because we thought we were trading for like an all-star kind of guy, and we were trading for just a guy. And don't get me wrong, Vucevic has been solid, but it was the idea behind it was that we have 3 all-stars: DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, Nikola Vucevic, but that just is not what we got at the end of the day. So when you look at the team, in the present day, last night we just lost to the Brooklyn Nets in the first in-season tournament game, and that's not the end of the world. But I'm saying, like, the reason I'm making this video is not because we lost that game, or not because of a game that we just lost in the in-season tournament. It's really just because, looking down towards the future, I don't see us competing with Milwaukee. I don't see us competing with Denver, Phoenix, the Lakers, Boston. Like, I don't even think we're better than Atlanta at this point. So we've already sunk a couple of first-round picks into this whole little experiment. And I think that it's time for us to really maximize our chances at a high draft pick, because if we don't start to trade these guys now, who knows what Zach LaVine's going to look like, in 1 or 2 years? Who knows how long DeMar DeRozan is even going to play? So I think at this year's trade deadline, we're going to have to, really buckle down and trade these guys, because we're not going to be able to get great value back with Vucevic, obviously. We're not going to be able to get elite value back for DeMar DeRozan. The most value we're going to get back is for a guy like Zach LaVine. And if you wait too long for that, then the value is going to come down and down and down. He's on a multi-year contract, so you can trade him at the deadline. You can get something really nice back. Miami wants him. Philadelphia wants him. Philadelphia has nice draft picks. Miami, they have some draft picks. They got Tyler Hero, but they just have guys who can make it a reality for us, that we can get better draft picks, so we can build something better in the future. Like, I understand the sunk cost fallacy, like, that you've already, spent the money on this, so you might as well keep going. But I don't think that really applies here, because we can just go in another direction. We don't have to, push all our chips to the middle of the table on this score. And the part that really hurts about this all is that Patrick Williams, I think he was the 4th overall pick. We picked him at 4. Halliburton went later in the draft. That's all right. But Patrick Williams really has not developed in the way that any Bulls fan or any NBA fan would have liked him to develop. And obviously, in the context that he's in, he's not in a place where he has a bunch of freedom offensively. He has a bunch of, shot attempts waiting on the table for him. But even the start to this season has been, really, really bad. He played solid yesterday, but that's after he got benched. So he just has not been a great creator with the ball. He has not been a great shooter with the ball. He's been pretty good defensively, but we needed that offense to really, take a step, over time, and it just hasn't. And obviously, he has missed time in his career, so he's still extremely young. There's still plenty of time to figure it out. I wouldn't be mad if he was here, as part of the rebuild. I really like Patrick Williams. I think that there's definitely a lot of potential there, but the kind of freedom has to be opened up, which we just cannot offer him right now. But to say that he shined in this role that he's in would be a lie. So, yeah, I just think it's time for us to rebuild the team. I think it's time for us to go into a new direction. And the time will be really, really soon, because, like I said before, we're not going to get back great value for a lot of these guys if we wait too long. Zach LaVine has injury history, has a pretty big contract. DeMar DeRozan is aging. Nikola Vucevic just hasn't been that great. We can probably get something back for Alex Caruso as well, maybe a first and a second. So I think that this is the season that we should be able to tear it down and just, get a really high draft pick. Get like a top 3 pick in the next couple of drafts. Get top 5 picks in the next couple of drafts. This team was fun at its peak. With Lonzo healthy, with AC healthy, we were great. I loved it. That was one of the best times of my life as an NBA fan, but it just hasn't worked out that way. And that's the nature of the NBA sometimes. Sometimes you put together a lot of talent. Sometimes it goes right. Sometimes it goes wrong. This is one of those scenarios where it went wrong, and it's just time to rebuild. It's just time to move in a different direction. So yeah, man, if you stayed to this video, thank you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.